Hello and welcome to today. Today we're going to show you how to create a graded contour and then put that in a format that can be exported onto Google Earth so you can go into the paddock and navigate it. So what we've done here is we've opened up the project where we've got the high resolution terrain model. Right now we can see the high resolution image as well as the Google Earth image that is in the background. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is that we're going to need to create a couple of different files. Now the first file that we need to create is a file where we're going to put the points. These are the points that we're going to go along and create the contour bank from. So we're going to go ahead and navigate to the folder structure that we would like to put this file. And so right now I'm just going to create a name for it. So we're then going to click Save. We're also going to go and select the correct projection, which is the project CRS file here. And we're going to go ahead and also select the points component here under geometry. We then click OK. And you'll see that this has created the contour map. So then I'm going to click and I'm going to drag it towards the top so it is the first thing that is visible. I'm also then going to go and click and put this into the editing mode so that we can make adjustments to this shapefile. The next thing that we need to do is go and identify the contour banks in which we want, the contour map in which we want to use to generate those points. So right now we've got the 1 meter contour bank, and in this particular scenario we've got a contour bank or a farmer that would like us to create a contour bank in this particular area. Now, what you can see here is the flow of the water. So I'm just going to select the Strahler water. So you can see that the water is flowing through here. It's hitting the contour bank and then coming down and then continuing along this waterway. Now, in this particular scenario, this farmer would like us to extend this waterway. And so what we're also going to do is we're actually going to unedit that, and we're going to create a new shapefile. This is called waterway extension, and this is basically the area that we're going to extend that waterway. We're going to go ahead and collect a polygon. We're going to select the same project CRS, and we're going to click OK. And as you can see, that file has been created here. We're going to go ahead and edit it by clicking the toggle editing mode. We're then going to navigate across and click the Add Polygon feature. And this particular farmer wants this to be continued all the way to a road that's here. Along the road and then back down to there. Then simply right click and it'll bring up this, this screen, and then I typically tick 0. Then what you can see is that this area here is where we'd like to extend this waterway. Now that that's done, we're going to unedit it, and it's going to ask us, do you want to save the changes to the layer waterway extension? And you're going to go ahead and click Save. Next, we're going to go and navigate, and we're going to create a contour map, and we're going to click the editing mode, and we're going to go ahead and start it on this 1 meter contour bank, and the water is going to go into this new waterway at this particular point. So we're going to go ahead and zoom in, and we're going to go and click on that particular point. We're going to type in 0 and then click OK. Now that we've got that point there, I'm going to go ahead and untick the water side so we can see the point. Now, as you can see, that point is currently brown here and is quite hard to see. So I'm going to go and right click on the contour map. We're going to go ahead to Properties, and it's going to pop up a window. I'm going to navigate down and select this star, click Apply, and then click OK. And then you can see that it is much easier to see that particular point there. Now, because we're looking to establish a certain grade, what we need to do is identify how far from this point to the next contour map, how far do we need to travel along that point to get that grade. And so what we need to do is we need to go ahead and go into the folder or click on the download link to download the How to Calculate Grade Excel spreadsheet. So we're going to go ahead and double click on that. And you'll see something that pops up like here. Now you can read the instructions, but essentially what it says is only change the numbers that are in the green cells here. So what we want to target is a grade of 0.2%, and the contour intervals, which is the distance between each of the contours, is 1 metre. And we know that because if we go to the contour map that we've highlighted, you can see that it says 1 metre. So we've put in 1 metre. And that's automatically calculated to say that the distance between the contours, you need to travel 500 metres along there to get to the next 1 metre contour to achieve a grade of 0.2%. So now that we've got this particular point here, what we want to do is to figure out, well, where does 500 metres get us to, and when does it intercept that next high point here? And so what we do is we go up to the processing, we click toolbox, and then in here we click a buffer. Now what this is going to do is it's going to draw a circle around that particular point, and we're going to make sure that it is 500 metres around that point. We're not going to save that file, we're just simply going to click run, and you can see that it's created. I'm now going to just click and drag that so we can see the centre. So you can see where that centre was. You can click up here and verify the distance, but if you go and click here, go all the way to the end, you can see that it is 500 metres. Now I haven't clicked exactly in the centre, so it's saying 501.4 metres, but that is 500 metres. And so what we need to do is if we untick the buffer, we notice that we're on this contour line. So we need to find where does this contour line intercept that 500 metre point. And so we can see that it is up at this particular point here. So we highlight that contour map, we add a new feature, and we go ahead and zoom in to where that contour line intersects that buffer zone. We then click 0 and we press enter. So what that is saying, I'm just going to untick the Strala order so it's easy to see, is that in order to achieve a 0.2% grade and the contours are 1 metres apart, we need to travel 500 metres, and that is literally 500 metres at that grade. So we can basically draw a line along here and we'll know that we've achieved that grade. Now, if you wanted to have a different grade, you could simply just change that grade balance and you'll see that it'll change the distance balance. And then when you go to the buffering section, you'll need to change that, that buffer. Now, let's say that you don't just want to put one, you want to put multiple and string multiple of these buffer zones along. You just need to remove that buffer one, double click on the buffer. It was 500 metres to achieve the grades that we wanted, the 0.2% grade. We then click run because we've selected the correct map. We can then click run and we notice that it's now got the first one and then the second one. So let's untick the buffer zone. So we're looking for the contour on this contour, which is the 1 metre above it. And we're looking to see where does it intersect there. And so the next point that would be here is literally right there. So we would select that number, the contour map point here, click add a key point, or add a feature I should say, click, type 0, press enter, and that is your next point. So now that we've got those 3 points, what we need to do is to draw the line, and this is the line that you're then going to go and follow in your ripper or in your dozer or in your grader. So we're going to unedit that, we're going to click, we can see that it's unedited. We're now going to create a line. So we're going to go ahead here and say, this is our contour line that we would like to follow. We're then going to go ahead and click line string. We're going to save it as the WGS 84 because that's what Google Earth and most tractor systems will use. We click OK. We're then going to enter it into editing mode. We're going to zoom in to that first point that we clicked on. And we're going to go ahead and click on it. And then what we need to do, we know that we need to get to that point, but what we want to do is roughly follow the contour point, the contour grade, or the shape of the land. Click there. And now we know we need to go to the next one, but notice how it kind of curves around. So we need to make sure that we're kind of curving around this point and getting to this star here. We then finish and right click, press 0, and we can see that there's a faint purple line. Now I can't quite see that, so I'm going to make that a little bit thicker. So you right click on the contour map, click properties, and make that, say for example, thickness 3, and go OK. Now I'll zoom out, and you can see this is the grade, this is the contour line with the grade that you are looking to follow. So that is the line that you're looking to follow to get that grade. So we're going to exit that out of editing mode, and then we're going to save that in a way that can be exported into a Google Earth file, so that can be visible in Google Earth. So in the format section, you want to select the keyhole markup language. You want to say contour line or contour banks. Click save and then click OK. It's then going to pop up this window and you're going to go add layer. I'm just going to untick the contour map there, the 1 meter contour, and I'm also going to get rid of that contour line, and you'll see this red line that's along here, and that's the line that you can now go and attach as an email, send it to your phone, and you can now go and see that line. Anyway, that's been a brief explanation on how to create a graded contour using the QGIS app.